Hey, starting out solitary, it is week 217, and we are talking about archetypes, or archetypes, whatever. Anyways, so archetype has its origins in ancient Greek. So the root word archechen means original, generally, and typos, which means pattern or model. Combined, the meaning basically means original pattern. So this isn't really a pagan thing per se. It's more of a psychological humanity thing from Carl Jung and his theory on the archetypes for the human psyche. So there are a lot of different things. You'll find like 4 archetypes, 5 archetypes, 12 archetypes. There's the, like, if you're a writer, there are story archetypes. So let's go through the archetypes. I pulled them up because, yep. So there are ego archetypes. So the first one is being the innocent. So that's going to be like the child, the traditionalist, the utopian, the saint. It's known by many different things. Basically, their core desire is to be happy. Then there is the orphan. Sometimes is called the regular person, every man, the person next door, the silent majority, yada yada yada. And their core desire is to belong and to connect. Then the hero, everyone's pretty, like, sometimes the hero is called the warrior, the crusader, the superhero, the dragon slayer, and their core desire is mastery, to conquer the thing. That's why, like, the hero's journey in writing, or the heroine's journey in writing is to conquer whatever the main acting thing is in the story. And then there's the caregiver, which helps others. Sometimes that can be called the supporter. So those are those 4. Then there's the soul types. So there's the explorer, the rebel, the lover, and the creator. Then there are self types, which are jester, sage, magician, and ruler. So I think archetypes are interesting as we go through this process, as we grow in our path. We kind of take on different archetypes, and as someone who reads tarot, I tend to think of archetypes like stuff like the royal cards of the tarot deck. So like the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Water, Page, the Knight, the King, things like that. And each of those cards, there are also 12 of those, oddly enough, kind of represent different archetypes within magic. As someone who studied psychology in college, I always find the archetypes interesting in the way that plays in with our storytelling, and how we progress as a society or as a tradition by our oral tradition, and kind of like how that changes for each of us as we go through these different archetypes. So I always find archetypes interesting. I find that they're very boxy though, and I tend to think that we don't always fit in one box. Like, for instance, in the tarot deck, I would be a Queen of Fire. However, sometimes they don't fit that. And so for me, I think archetypes are good for teaching based concepts, but I find it really difficult to adhere to specific archetypes throughout that journey. So I'll see you guys next week when we do our next topic here at Starting Out Solitary.